Hello and welcome to another bite-sized workshop on the tarot. Today we're going to be looking at card number 14, Temperance. Temperance, an interesting card. This is the image of Temperance from the Rider-Waite deck, and we can see in the Rider-Waite deck we've got all the classical elements that's associated. First of all, it's the angel of Temperance, or the symbol of purity and the transformation from one element to another wrapped up within this angel. There's a lot of alchemy involved with Temperance. And what do I mean by the alchemy? Well, some of the symbology in here, we see that Temperance herself is one of the virtues, and the virtue of Temperance is to create balance and harmony in things that aren't always naturally meant to be balanced and harmonious. And we see her stood with one foot on the ground and one foot in a pool of clear water. Perhaps this pool of clear water is really a natural spring. And in the background, behind her, we can see the familiar path, the road that's leading up into the mountains, and there's a golden crown at the end. So there's a hint here about the journey that you have to take, the journey that you're on, the journey that you're going through. So transformation doesn't just happen, it takes effort, it takes a pilgrimage, for want of a better expression. But what is Temperance doing? Well, she's pouring from one chalice, one vessel, into another water. And that water is being poured from one vessel to another. It is a mixing of elements, and elements that have to be carefully mixed together, because that's the nature of life. In life, when we mix with people or we do things or we're working at things, it's always about getting the balance right, the harmony right. And it's those opposites. So what the suggestion here is when something is hard, it is made soft. When something is dry, it is made more moist or wetter. When something is hot, it is made cool. And all those things are reversible as well. So the symbology in here is by adding one thing to another, you change the dynamic. And this is really interesting because we look at this tarot card of Temperance, which is all things being calm and temperate and easy. But just at the beginning of the Renaissance is when the tarot cards were introduced. So it's invoking the energy of art combined with science to understand what's going on in the world, to make sense of what is going on in the world. And then there's something else that's interesting too when we look at Temperance. There are also some flowers growing at the side. And these flowers are iris. The irises are interesting because they're linked to the Greek god Iris. And Iris's symbol is the rainbow. Now the interesting thing is rainbows are an optical illusion, yet we see them, they're real. And what do rainbows do? They lift our spirits, they lift our joy, they lift our energy. On a day that's raining, we see rainbows. If there's no rain, we won't see the rainbow. But there's something else going on. The sun is shining, and to see the rainbow, the sun has to be low in the sky. So it's either going to be in the morning or in the later part of the day. And the sun needs to be behind us and the rain in front of us to see the rainbow. And what is the rainbow? The rainbow is beautiful light out of nothing, that fabulous revealing of colour, that energy of colour. Now, in a way, that's a metaphor for the tarot, because out of a simple card comes a knowledge, a wisdom, a seeing of something that we've not seen before, a making of something that we've not been able to make before. So there is magic in the world, there is magic in a rainbow, there is magic in the tarot. And what temperance does is it takes those different elements that make life what life is and create something new. Now, if you notice, when we do these tarot workshops, there's a constant theme here of change, alteration, transformation. But here is the first time we clearly see alchemy at its best. Alchemy being expressed through the connection between people. So, what would we get if the angel appears, the angel of temperance that is, within your tarot reading? Well, first of all, it tells us that the things that have been challenging and difficult, that come to us in all different ways, can be dealt with, resolved and made better. More than that, the angel tells us that we've got a direction and a purpose. And it also tells us that we don't have to do things alone. The two chalices, with the water passing between them. The chalices could represent two individuals, the heart, the soul, the energy, the vibration, the pakwa, the sense of life that exists within each and every one of us. And the water that passes between is the experiences and how they transform us, one person's experience to another, one person's sharing of a story to another, one person helping another, one person receiving that. So all those things are existing at the same time. So temperance teaches us we don't have to do things by ourselves. There is somebody there that we can always reach out to. There is somebody there that will always help. And that's when people talk about earth angels. So the symbology of someone who seems on the surface quite ordinary can have a wonderful and marvellous impact on your life and change the direction that your life is going in. So you are on a journey, you are travelling through life, but you don't have to do it alone. And the transformation from one to another is the important factor that we get with temperance. So thank you so much for watching again on this bite-size workshop on the tarot. The next time I will return with card 15, the Devil.